Hey guys, welcome to Unbiased Rugby. I just want to confirm that I'm doing something. Yeah, perfect. This is the third attempt that I've actually done at trying to actually do a recording today. Seems like the rugby guys just don't want me to do a recording, so I'm going to do this hell of a fast before someone phones me or somebody walks in behind me and I can't actually get this done. But great weekend of Super Rugby. Round 12's done and dusted. It was a great weekend. Now, of all 7 games, I think the highest score difference was between the Hurricanes and the Rebels, and that was 10 points. The rest of the games were less than that, and there were 2 draws. It just goes to show that this is the most competitive year of Super Rugby by a long shot, or for a couple of years. And it's great to see. It's great to see that we don't really know what's going to happen week in and week out in Super Rugby. We've wanted this back in this competition for so long, and now we seem to be starting to get it. One more thing we've got to get rid of is the conference system, and then I think it'll be a hell of an entertaining competition. First game of the weekend, we got the Crusaders versus the Sharks. Cracking game. You could see that the Crusaders were a little bit off their game, a few knock-ons, a few handling errors. Not their clinical self, but credit to the Sharks. You know, they rush defence and their dominant tackles was bar none. I think maybe if they had Richie Mwanga, the Crusaders might have been able to combat it a little bit. But yeah, the Sharks was absolutely dominant. The amount of tackles, the dominant tackles that they did was just sublime. And it ends the Crusaders' winning run at their home ground. The last team that actually beat them like this was the Sharks. So yeah, exceptional game. Destroyed my Super Brew. My Super Brew's destroyed this weekend. I fell down a few places. I think I came 4th last in my main pool. But yeah, a cracking game. It's given us all hope that maybe a team can actually beat the Crusaders, or might make the quarters, semis, and the finals maybe a little bit more entertaining. And it's not just one-sided. Next game of the weekend, we got the Reds versus the Sunwolves, and the Reds was the right name for the game. It just seemed like there were 2 reds, 4 yellows. I think it was 4 yellow. An absolutely atrocious game. I thought Angus Gardner lost control of that game fast. I was just not impressed with the reffing and in that game. It just seemed there was something not right, and it was very, very frustrating to watch because. Yeah, it just didn't. Yes, the red cards were deserved, and you know things. But yeah, the control was lost a long time before that. But yeah, Reds get the victory. They move up the table in the Australian Conference, and 32-26. Next game of the weekend, we got the Hurricanes versus the Rebels. I felt the Hurricanes played exceptionally well for the first 21 minutes, and then decided that the game was over and it was time to go home, because after that. It just seemed like the Rebels were camped inside the Hurricanes half in their 22, and they slowly chipped away, and they brought themselves back into that game. Like they were out, because at 21 minutes, I thought this was going to be an absolute cricket score, and it just seemed like the Rebels did pull themselves out of a huge big hole. But yeah, they didn't get the bonus point, which is what they were going for in the end. I thought Quade Cooper had an exceptionally bad game. It's, I think, 2 games in a row where I've not been impressed, and he needs to step up because, at the beginning of the season we were talking about him being included in the Wallabies, but the rate the performance is going at the moment, I'd stick with Foley, and Foley's not the greatest choice either, but at the moment I think he's a better choice than Quade Cooper. But congratulations to the Hurricanes, deserved victory. Next game of the weekend, absolute humdinger of a New Zealand derby. We've got the Highlanders versus the Chiefs. A draw, 31-all. If the first game hadn't destroyed your Super Brew, this one would have. I thought the Highlanders should have won the game, not because of the way they played, but because they had a hell of a lot more firepower on that field than in the Chiefs. Chiefs only had Antonetta Brown, number 8, Tyler Idron. I think he's an absolute amazing player. Every week I watch him. The guy's always over the gain line, learning to offload. And yeah, I think a lot of people wish he was a New Zealander and he could be selected for the New Zealand side. Next game, we've got the Brumbies versus the Blues. And I don't think the Blues could buy a victory away from home. It's just shocking, their away record. It's literally like they're a South African side. You know, can win at home, but can't win away. And yeah, I'm Actually, I don't know what more to say, because it seems like they back into their old ways. They're slipping back down the table. I'm trying to think if they're at the bottom. No, they're not at the bottom. But after next weekend, I'm not sure. I don't know who they're playing, but yeah, the Chiefs may overtake them, and the Chiefs haven't had a great season either. So yeah, Blues have to do something to win away from home. They just have to. Next game of the weekend, we got the Bulls versus the Waratahs. I actually thought this might be another draw at the end of the game. Two moments of the match that stood out for me for the same player. Try of the week was Dwayne Vermeulen's try. It's just nice to see a forward scoring a try from that far out, 84 meters, and dotting the ball down. And then in the line-out maul, right at the end, he went straight through the maul and did the turnover and took the ball, and that changed the match at the end, and it secured the victory for the Bulls. Bit shocked with the Bulls' defense. It wasn't that great. They just let the Waratahs back into that game, and yeah, very, very frustrating. If they play against the Chiefs like that next week, the Crusaders next week, then yeah, it could be a real blowout of a score. Last game of the weekend, we got the Jaguares versus the Stormers. I actually watched this game, and I don't normally stay up late to watch. That's the Jaguares game. Jaguares deserved that victory. The Stormers, another team frustrating me. They Duplessis, who's playing at 10, I'm not a really big fan. I don't think he's ready for that kind of level, and I think Damon Willemse should move up to 10. I think with a proper 10, controlling where the forwards are playing and seeing the space and kicking to the right positions in the field, I think that whole team will turn around a hell of a lot quicker. But yeah, let me go through the rankings. So we still have the Crusaders at the top spot with 42 points. Hurricanes coming in at second at 36 points. And then straight after that, we've got the Bulls and the Sharks on 28 points. Then we've got the Jaguares on 27. Jaguares, they actually could win the African Conference. They carry on with that kind of form. I know they've got the Australasian tour coming up, but yeah, I see the Jaguares, they could. I honestly feel that they could do it. They could actually be the top of the African pool. Then we've got the Highlanders, then the Rebels, then the Stormers. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's very, very close. I think besides the Crusaders and the Hurricanes, I think from 28 to 24 is that's from third to ninth spot is like four points difference, which is not a hell of a lot. But yeah, it was a great weekend. Very, very close scores. My Super Breeze absolutely gone. It's destroyed. But yeah, here's looking forward to the next weekend. I think there's some great games coming up next weekend, especially I'm really looking forward to the Bulls Crusaders game. Really would like to see where the Bulls really are against a really top side. But listen, guys, do you think the Sharks have given us a little bit of hope that the Crusaders could be beaten? I'm not saying that they can. I'm just saying that they could be beaten. I feel that they've given us a little bit of hope. And what is your overall impression of Super Rugby this year? Have you been quite impressed with the games? Have you felt that it's been a lot closer? Is it because it's a World Cup year, or that we've dropped the 3 teams? But listen, guys, I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful week going forward. Chat soon. Cheers. Bye.